YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.
Peace, this is Brother Afrika Bambaataa of the almighty Universal Zulu Nation, the Amun-Ra of universal hip-hop culture. In new music, we trust, because we trust the true school. And you only get the truth when you deal with the true school. Yes, in the early days of hip-hop culture, we could speak about the early days of hip-hop cultures in the United States of America, but we're also going to speak about the early days of hip-hop culture over here in the United Kingdoms. All right, so now we've taken it back to when we started out with the father cool DJ Hurt, myself, Afrika Bambaataa, and the Grandmaster Flash, all coming back from West Indian backgrounds to our African backgrounds, which where all type of civilization comes from, bringing you this hip-hop sound, this hip-hop culture. It was the Universal Zulu Nation that brought you all the elements of the hip-hop culture, meaning the B-boys, the DJs, the MCs, the aerosol writers, or the graffiti writers, and that fifth element which holds all the culture together, the knowledge. As we say in Universal Zulu Nation, knowledge, culture, overstanding. You need an understanding, an understanding, and an overstanding for you can really know about what is this culture. Because many people, when they say hip-hop, they don't know what the hell they talking about. They just think it's just the rappers. But when you say hip-hop, we talking about the whole culture movement of this culture, which is now an international movement, which eventually, as we become intergalactic human beings, it'd be a universal movement. For many people who don't understand, or understand about hip-hop or so-called rap records, let's take rap before it was this song or this type of style that they say hip-hop. Rap back in the 50s or even the 40s, you had the Cab Calloway doing Hottie Hottie Ho. And then you could take it to Ellis Fitzgerald doing the bebop scat rap. Then you could take it to the 60s with Shirley Ellis doing the clapping song, the name game, the nitty gritty. You could take it to Isaac Hayes doing his love style rapping, or Barry White doing his love style rapping. You could take it to Muhammad Ali doing his dozen type of rap where you talk about your mama and whatever, so forth. Or you could take it to your nursery rhymes type of rap. Or you could take it to Sonia Sanchez, who did the poetry style of rap. Or bring it up to the first hip hop beat and rap on top of some lyrics with Pygmy Malcolm with Here Comes the Judge. And then you could take it to the Nubian nut himself, Uncle George Clinton, or the great Sly Stone on his first album where he did some style of rapping. You could take it to all the MCs that's been out there in radio land, the disc jockeys, Jocko, and all those type, Eddie O.J., Gary Bird, with the Gary Bird's experience. So, and then it comes all the way up to Kool Herc, myself, the Grandmaster Flash, and that became the birth of the hip-hop culture, the hip-hop movement. The birth of the electro-funk sound. That sound started with the techno-pop sound that was happening in Japan by a group by the name of Yellow Magic Orchestra, who gave you that hip-hop breakbeat computer games. And as we jump over to Europe and Germany, it comes with another group called Kraftwerk, who gave you radioactive type of music, that funky type of technology, Trans-Europe Express, numbers, computer games. And also come to my man who's over there in England by the name of Gary Newman, who had that two-way army and gave you them techno-pop sounds that he did like with Cars. Then you got to bring it up to the funk of all the funks, the soul king #1, the Godfather, James Brown, the kings of black rock funk, the Gods, Sly and the Family Stone, and the man that made an empire out of the funk, Uncle George Parliament Funkadelic Clinton. And thus came that funky electro sound that Afrika Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force brought about, was the electro funk sound that gives you your techno pop, that gave you your hip house, that gave you your drum and bass and your hip step. It gave you your Rio funk or all the other styles that has taken from the electro, and you got your style of hip hop music all over the world. Well, you're looking for the perfect beat. The record that you hear sample on a lot of different other people like Khalid and LL Cool J's Control Yourself. You had Looking for the Perfect Beat, Afrika Bambaataa Soul Sonic Force, with productions by Afrika Bambaataa, Arthur Baker, John Roby. them early electro days with Morgan Khan, all those early records that you could get from there that was happening in the UK when a lot of, groups was coming out in the UK, the Cookie Crew, what's some of the other people, London All-Star Breakers, Nutriment, who else was out there? London Posse, all these great people, and a lot of people was getting robbed. These record labels robbing everybody. Yeah, we got to deal with the fatology. They're robbing left and right, and they still robbing. But we give it all the props to all the people who helped to push our culture throughout Europe as well as the United States. So we had looking for the perfect beat because we still looking for that perfect beat in life, perfect beat in music, perfect beat in whatever you want, as well as Renegades of Funk because we were the renegades of the funk music, which is of the hip-hop, Afrika Bambaataa, So Sonic Force, Shangle, Time Zone, and any other groups that we had in the Universal Zulu Nation. Well, the last album we did, coming back in the 2000s, was for the Tommy Boy label again when I came back with Dark Matter, Moving at the Speed of Light. And also after that, we had another Time Zone album. We did Everyday People, the Breakbeat Party album. Was some of the last two projects that I did, and then some hip house type of record with a group called Espresso, and a couple other music that we have coming out in Germany, and some music that we have coming out with the Real Funk Sound in Brazil, my other home. In the new music that we trust, if you trust it, you better check it. If you check it, you better know what you're dealing with, because there's no more time for God games and fake fatology that's happening out here. So we must trust in the music we trust with Westwood. Do you trust Westwood? Or do you trust me?
YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.